A very good morning to the respected principal ma'am and our honorable guests and all the teachers and my friends present here. I, Ajay Virazam, welcome you all to this seminar where we will be emphasizing on unleashing the power of AI and blockchain in drug discovery and development. So, before proceeding towards the seminar, I would really like to call our principal, Madam Dr. Supriya Shidhar, and our honorable guest, Dr. Paliwa Roshan sir, on the stage for Saraswati Vandan.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेष जाड्यापः।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would really like to call Dr. Roshan Bajaj sir on the stage and request our beloved principal ma'am to felicitate this. Thank you so much. Further proceeding in the seminar, I am very eager to get the opportunity to speak about our beloved principal, Dr. Supriya Siddhar ma'am. Dr. Supriya Siddhar is a renowned name in pharma education and research. Under her able leadership, PESCOP has excelled in all dimensions. In last few years, PESCOP is accredited by NBA, NAC, and heading towards become autonomous institute college. And it has been performing very well in various rankings. Dr. Supriya Siddhar Madam has joined the institution on July 6, 2009. She made significant contribution to teaching, research and industry collaboration in the field of pharmaceuticals. With 31 years dedicated to teaching, Madam has imparted knowledge in various courses at undergraduate level, at the diploma and postgraduate level. Dr. Siddhar Madam expertise in pharmaceuticals is reflected in her extensive research spanning. There are total 63 publications are under her credits, and there are 5 patents has been granted. And she could fetch around 1.3 crore as a grant. Till now, she has guided 5 PhD students. 3 are working under her supervision, while 42 young students have graduated from her group. She has actively participated in both government and industry projects, securing substantial funding from esteemed agencies. Her involvement in industry projects with renowned organizations showcases her practical insights and collaboration skills. Madam's research contributions are well recognized through numerous national and international publications and presentations. She has received several awards, including Best Teacher Award from the University of Mumbai and prestigious accolades for her research projects and institutions in various capacities. Such as serving committees reviewing journals and participating in industry collaborations. Her involvement in curriculum development, academic governance, and yoga education demonstrates her multi-faced approach to professional development. She has been served 3 years as the chairman at BOS University of Mumbai and brought many reforms in pharmacy education. Dr. CJ has established collaborations with industry giants like Procter and Gamble, contributing to advisory and academic councils, further enhancing her academic enterprise. Overall, our beloved principal madam career journey epitomizes a holistic approach to academia, research, and industry engagement, and underscored by her commitment to excellence and leadership in the field of pharmacy. So now I would request our video principal ma'am to come on the stage and share her thoughts.
First of all, thank you so much for your kind introduction. Dr. Paliwal sir, this is a very small drop in the ocean of qualification and experience that you have earned over years. But yes, I am a hardcore teacher and I'll be always a teacher from my heart because I really love my students and teaching profession. First of all, on behalf of VS College of Pharmacy, I extend warm welcome to you, sir, Dr. Roshan Paliwal, sir. We are going to soon hear about his achievements when our anchor will introduce him to you. And when I have read that CV, I was astonished. It was just outstanding. It is just commendable. And that itself has epitomized that it's such a, I mean, he may not be, he may be younger to me by 10 years also. I really don't know that. But in that short span of time, so much he has achieved. It means that, but when one has that dynamism and hunger and thirst to learn, sky is the limit. And not just that, I also have seen his drive to give back to the society, and in society, students in particular. So with so much vast experience and such a tight schedule, hectic activities, still he could take out time for our college. First of all, thank you Dr. Reshma Madam and Dr. Mishra for approaching sir. And thank you sir for your consent, though you were not personally knowing us. So that is here, that speaks a lot about your commitment towards academia and students. Our students are going to definitely learn a lot. And more importantly, they are going to carry some important messages as to how to apply your knowledge and how to keep on exploring newer and diverse fields to make your career very much accomplishing and also getting a lot of satisfaction by doing something that you are really liking it. I'm sure this message everybody is going to carry with them. Talking about today's topic that you have selected, as you rightly mentioned in the morning before this session, this AI and maybe Internet of Things or data science, these subjects unfortunately are not there in our curriculum. So VS College of Pharmacy is striving hard to give some exposures to students by arranging such talks, and we have also designed a couple of add-on courses. When I was in the board of study chairmanship, I have designed 2 courses which are now available for all pharmacy fraternity. So we are trying to float these courses for our students so that they get additional knowledge about it, and at least basic things they must know so that they would come to know where it can be applied and how industry can be benefited by cutting down the time for the product life cycle. In your lecture, probably students are going to learn all these facets, and I am sure they will get encouraged to deep dive into this field. And through their self-development, maybe through SWAYAM or other courses, they will add more value or more dimensions in this particular field. And I recommend that you must do that because industry is moving very fast and these things are important for the industry. And also, I would, sir is going to take one more session for non-teaching staff and also faculty members, that is Samruddhi, where sir is going to introduce something very innovative and very, very unique. And we are keen to know that also too, sir. So, without standing between him and you all, I would like to conclude by giving again a heartfelt thank you, sir. And sir, over to you. We are very eager to hear from you.
Now, it's my utmost privilege to get an opportunity to speak about a very well-known person in pharmaceutical and healthcare industry. That is our honorable guest for the seminar, Dr. Roshan Paliwal sir. Dr. Roshan Paliwal sir stands as an exemplary figure in the realm of medicine and pharmaceuticals, with a remarkable array of qualifications and achievements to his name, holding a total 5 PhDs, including 4 honorary doctorate degrees and over 25 distinguished Dr. Paliwal's expertise spans across various domains, from medicine and psychology to project management and business operations. His professional journey has been nothing short of illustrious, marked by numerous accolades such as Bharatiya Ratna and Pharma Ratna awards. Dr. Paliwal's contributions have been recognized globally with prestigious appointments like Professor of Practice Pharmacology at D.Y. Patil University and Professorship at Kennedy University Practice. With nearly 2 decades of experience, Dr. Paliwal has left an indelible mark as an entrepreneur, global pharma leader, advisor, mentor, scientist, researcher, formulator, doctor, and psychologist. He has spearheaded the research and development of over 400 medicines and introduced a wide range of pharmaceutical products across multiple regions worldwide. As a visionary CEO, Dr. Paliwal leads ultimately compromising several impactful entities, including Droprush Health, Droprush Global System, Antioxidant Hydrophilus Health, and Transformative Droprush Global Foundation. His strategic acumen and proactive approach have paralleled the expansion of business and driven profitable revenue growth. They own companies like Merck, Novartis, and Dr. Reddy. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Dr. Paliwal is revered international speaker, having shared his insights at numerous prestigious events worldwide. He has mentored thousands of professionals, has operated in over 172 countries, leading and enduring legacy in the industry. Furthermore, Dr. Paliwal's influence extends to the realm of literature, with his international book, Unlock the Power of Your Subconscious Mind, being held as essential reading for personal growth and self-improvement. His esteemed positions as a council member, knowledge partner, and expert advisor at various organizations underscore his expertise and influence in the healthcare and pharmaceutical sectors. Dr. Paliwal's stellar contributions have granted him over 1,000 awards, including the Bharatiya Ratna Award and Lifetime Achievement Award, commenting his status as traveler as in history. Recently, he has been chosen as Academic Advisory Board member to MBA Pharmaceutical Management Program at Avenue University, Punjab. In conclusion, Dr. Roshan Paliwal's unparalleled expertise and visionary leadership make him a true powerhouse in the world of medicine and pharmaceutical. His dedication to innovation and excellence continues to inspire future generations and shape the future of health. I would really like to call upon the state Dr. Roshan Paliwal sir and share his plan and proceed with the seminar.
Hello, hi, very fine. Good morning to you. I said good morning. That's the joke, you know. I mean, I'm so proud, so happy, so glad to be here to be part of today's very interesting, session that we planned today. And let me tell you, like I had been on campus way back in 2014-17. I was part of the Merck, I'm sure you know that there is a facility at the 7th floor, right? So, but yes, that point of time I didn't got a chance to interact directly with the faculties as well as students. But yes, never the same, universe always gives the signals, and therefore we are here today, right? So, thank you all, and with that particular note, we'll get into the today's discussion. All right. So there are too much of things that need to be shared. Okay, but with the limitation of time, we'll precisely focus on the crux of the pharma. I will certainly going to touch upon the facts about the this one. Right. So, friends, we're going to touch upon the key important aspect. Of course, we're going to see the real world of artificial intelligence, the AI, how the AI has been used in the pharma industry, specifically in pharma sector, and then also going to see the blockchain technology. Although for the hardcore pharmaceuticals, we see as a dream, right? But this is the reality today, where the AI as well as the blockchain is an integral part of the technological development in the pharmaceutical industry, right? So we're going to see that, and with that particular note, we'll also touch upon the very key aspect about the industry. It is important to know, like since all of you are directly part of the pharma sector, okay, and as some of you might be about to go into the industry after finishing your courses, right? So we need to understand how the industry globally, and then how what are the development has been done. So we touch upon that space, the global perspective of industry, the Indian perspective, and then ultimately we will see the technological development with respect to AI and the blockchain, right? All right. All right. By the way, just let me know where is the camera. Those who are the same from this one, the center ones. Okay. All right. The pharma discussion. Why it is so important that we touch upon the pharmaceutical perspective, but before getting into what exactly the integration happens in the real world. So when I say pharma discussion point, the areas of intersection, the intersection is always amongst the science, the data, and the technology. When I say science, that means it's all about the drugs, it's all about the diseases, it's all about the different therapy areas that we have, it's all about the diagnosis, right? That's the core of the science within the medical and the pharmaceutical, right? When we work on the science, of course, there are real-time data get generated, okay? And the data are real world, which already available in the respective part, and there are published data, there is structured and a lot of unstructured data, right? In the discovery, every point of time there is a data get generated, okay? And those data has to be studied very systematically and effectively. The third aspect, while we see the science and the data, how we can forget how can we not thinking and discussing about the technology, and therefore the technological integration in the core science and the data is very much important. I'm referring to the AI, the machine learning, the data big data analytics as well as the NLP programming, right? So these are the integration, the intersection, and the pharma is actually the center, integrating all the aspects and then getting back to the real world of development of the medicines and ultimately manufacturing of the medicines, right? Just for right. So the intersection is something interesting. And if you understand this intersection, then certainly you want to understand the role of yours in the real world of pharma. Okay. So in that perspective, it's always important to understand the healthcare ecosystem, and there are the 8 principles of the healthcare ecosystem, right? What we do is for the patients, number one. There are the providers, there are the payers, there are certain policy makers, there are the pharma, and ultimately the patient as a whole cycle, right? So in the 8 principles, the 8 parameters where the entire industry lies about, amongst those is the pharmaceutical from the industrial perspective. And to understand that, let's get into the deeper perspective, deeper understanding. So, by the way, how many of you are doing the, let's say, graduation? Most of them? Masters altogether, right? And obviously various specializations from chemistry to the pharmaceutics, pathology, and so on and so forth, right? And ultimately you are able to get into the industry or maybe the better career, either in the academia or maybe in the government sector or maybe in the industry altogether. So, specialization makes you unique in your own sector, on your field. However, your skill, which includes the technical skills, know-how, and the most important is soft skills, that will make you the greatest in the industry or the sector which you are going to choose, right? So focusing on rather than just on the technical side of it, you need to focus on the soft skills also because that is certainly making yourself unique in the entire market, right? So let's get into it. Revolutionizing the pharma, artificial intelligence, and the blockchain, which I had mentioned, especially the drug discovery and the drug development phase. We discuss upon the areas of intersections, right? And this intersection is all about the science, technology, and the data. The marriage between three is what the recent happening in the world of pharmaceuticals, right? That's the future altogether. So 8 is of healthcare system, patients, providers, payers, policymakers, which includes the government and everyone, patient advocacy groups, okay, the pharmaceuticals and the pharmacy chains, which is nothing but the supply chain model as well as the retail pharmacy and packaging companies. So this makes the health ecosystem, and most importantly, the pharma plays a critical role. I'm going to say the pharmaceutical industry plays a critical role here. And to understand this, let's get to know how the pharma of the entire world, the pharmaceutical perspective from the world, right? What we know and what we are going to see is something interesting perspective. In 2001, the global pharma market was hardly around $390 million in 2001. And as you see the graph, which is exponentially growing at a very steady state rate, and 2010 it becomes approximately $50 billion, and ultimately by 2020 it's already crossed 1.25 trillion dollar market, right? So the global pharma industry is all about 1.25 trillion dollars. But that's the again history, that's the past. Today, as the projections are very strong, the industry is going to be boost like anything, and it's going to be already at $1.5 trillion as of standing 2023 end. And this is going to further boost, which is going to cross around $2.7 trillion by 2030. So this is the promising sector. The entire world is, of the pharmaceutical research, manufacturing, the various disease therapy areas, different trends in the sectors are happening, and that is how the industry is growing rapidly. From world, let's get into the Indian perspective because that is something important as we are the Indians, and this is like you feel much more proud to know that you are part of the industry. Let's say part of the pharma altogether. The industry at one point was $6 billion. Okay, and as the industry moves, the development happens. By 2050, crossed 30 billion, and by 2020, it becomes $55 billion. The Indian pharma sector industry, the Indian pharma altogether is $55 billion. Again, that's the past. As the projections are very strong, which is growing at 15.92%, the Indian pharma sector is going to be $190 billion by 2030. $190 billion. Now you see the 55 is directly jumped almost triple just within 10 years time frame. Amongst that, already 4 years has been gone. In the next 5 years, the mega transformation is going to happen. And this is a prime moment, the Indian pharma sector industry, the Indian pharma across the world, standing at absolutely the 6th largest market globally in terms of the absolute size, and it's going to be it is already top 3 pharmaceutical market in terms of the incremental growth. So Indian pharma industry is top 3 in the entire world, right? And 6th in terms of the absolute size, and that's the reason. All the giant pharma companies across the world, they are actually looking forwards to the Indian infrastructures for investment, for building the R&Ds, building the manufacturing facilities. Why it is so? There are many reasons. The number one is like, first of all, we have the very ample quality resources. That's the thing about all of you. The skill set is pretty high and excellent. Number one. Number two, it's economical. The facilities, the manufacturing, the R&Ds and the resources are economical as compared to the US market as well as the Europe market, which is almost like, more than, less than half of the US cost, right? And that's the thing, there's a lot of investment is happening in the Indian sector, a lot of merger acquisitions going on. But just trying to understand how the Indian pharma industry is being distributed. There are basically 3 segments we say situated. The first segment is the generic market, the generic drugs, okay? The OTC medicine and the patented drugs. The largest share is taken by the generic drugs, which is 70%. What you see here, this is the largest section of the Indian market, which is 70%, and then ultimately the OTC product, which is approximately 21% over the counter, and ultimately the last one is the 9%, which is the patented drugs, okay, patented formulations, right? Now you see, this is the distribution in the entire Indian pharma sector. And most of the industries are playing in this domain, the generic domain and OTC. Very few companies are there in the patented formulations, right? And there is a scope for that as well. Having said that, let's understand the manufacturing and the export market, because this will give you a much more pride moment how the Indian pharma industry is growing like anything. As I said, this is the 3rd largest in the world in terms of the volume, and the entire world production, India is contributing 10%. Today, it's already $25 billion export market that Indian pharma industry is catering to, and providing the services of pharmaceutical export to more than 2 million countries. And as we saw in the recent past, and to say the COVID time also, and now the Indian pharma industry, every single vaccine which has been administered across the world is coming from the 100 dose of coming from the the Indian manufacturing facility. That is the legacy the Indian pharma industry is carrying. Now you are going to be part of that. So this is something remarkable. So let's have a big round of applause all the pharma industry. And since you are going to be part of the industry, you carry a lot of responsibilities on your shoulder. And we will discuss that as well in the line. So, from this, let's get into the core of understanding the discovery. I know you might be knowing the discovery phase, the different development and everything, but in a nutshell, in a way to understand the drug life cycle. Okay, how the drug get research discovered and comes to the commercial market, that we need to understand. It's a very, first of all, very risky and very challenging long process of developing the drug. It's all about like it takes at least 15 years for the discovery itself, and hardly you get 5 years to market the product in the real commercial way, right? The entire life, if you look into, which is called pre-discovery phase, screening the many candidates, many compounds, many chemicals at the early phase, approximately from 5,000 to 10,000, which is a drug discovery phase, and hardly 250 goes to preclinical phases, and this phase takes almost 3 to 6 years. Right? Now you understand why the medicines are so costly. I'm talking about the branded, innovative products. Okay, why they are costly? Because the life, the development timeline is very strong, and the process is also very rigid and risky. Once amongst these 250 preclinical candidate molecules, these are still a candidate molecule. These are not even proven as a drug with their pharmacological actions, right? They are still candidates. So out of this 250, amongst 250, 5 hardly goes for the clinical trials, right? And in the clinical trial, there are the different phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, right? So every single phase is very vital to derive the data, understanding its significance, the pharmacological aspect, the safety, efficacy, and all that aspects. So phase 1 actually where the healthy volunteers, around 20 to 80 healthy volunteers are being studied in the phase 1. Because this fine candidate molecule, which is going in the clinical phase, they will be tested for all the clinical trials, phase 1. Once the phase 1 is cleared, the phase 2 starts, and the phase 2 is all about studying the like 100 to 300 healthy volunteers for this specific category, and then taking to the phase 3, which is now in the real pool of patients, around 3,000 patients approx, where the clinical trials happens phase 3, which is again altogether a timeline of around 6 to 7 years. So your 12 to 13 years are still, it's just gone in the discovery phase itself to identify the candidate molecule. And once you have the results in hand with respect to safety, efficacy, and its pharmacological actions, the authority. Authority will review you. There will be a lot of questions, queries going to come. You need to review that. You need to give back to the again the technical details of the queries, and you need to resolve those. If that gets sorted, you get the product approval. Okay, and once you get the product approval, actual commercial manufacturing starts from this phase, right? So almost you understand 15 years has been gone in the just phase of the development, discovery, and the commercialization. So hardly you get approx 5 years to commercialize your product. So it's a life of 20 years you spend over here. It's such a risky business. Almost $2 billion for developing one single molecule, single product. Okay, 2 billions. If anything goes wrong in any of the phases, your $1 billion investment is gone. And that's the thing. Very few companies are into the core discovery. Okay, I certainly know when I was with Dr. Reddy's that time, Balagritazo, a candidate molecule for the anti-cancer treatment, was been under the discovery phase, successfully cleared all the developments, phase 1, phase 2, ultimately phase 3 got failed. So the $1 billion is gone in the drain, right? But it's the company which has a very strong legacy. They survived very strongly and they are doing great now. But yes, what I'm trying to say that discovery is very risky phase, not only from the timeline perspective, but also from the cost perspective also, right? But now, when we have the technology in hand, it reduces the risk. it reduces the timeline also, it reduces the cost of development also, right? And therefore, we also need to understand how this is really happening with the technological integration. What I said, this is all slide describes the depth of the development value chain from the discovery point of view. And yeah, the pharma drug life cycle. This is a single slide, but gives the complete picture of the industry. You know how the industry is actually working. If you understand this, and you can put yourself in terms of your expertise, and you can be part of the end of the phases. First of all, what we saw about the discovery, 15 years, which is not even coming in the picture, still under the graph. Okay, your 15 years is gone. Where preclinical studies, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 is happening over here. Once the product is approved, you launch the product, and from this point, the real game starts. Okay, so every product has a certain life. It gets introduced in the market, it grows in the market, and at one point it reaches to the maturity. The maturity, I mean to say, the selling point where the product growth may not happen, and it starts slowly declining in the market. And once it comes towards the what you call the patent expiry, or let's say loss of market exclusivity, that time the generic company comes to the pictures and they do a parallel development, a generic version, okay, and they launch the product in the market. So they are not doing the entire discovery. The discovery is almost 15 years. They are just doing the research and development with respect to product development, which is for the behavior studies without infringing the patent and everything, and they develop the product within 2 years, 1 to 2 years. And here the competition actually comes into the picture. Till this point, the giant innovators was playing in the market. Once the exclusivity has been gone, pharma generic companies come into the picture, and the cost of product become reduced, and ultimately the same molecule is off the patent and off the market. That is how the life of the product. Okay, and why the costly product become economical at this point? Because the patent got off the market, off the shelf, and the generic competition starts. Therefore, the generic product has an economical rate as compared to the innovative product. We are clear to this point? Okay. Now let's understand the other perspective. I will quickly glance you through the R&D development process. I'm sure you must be knowing this one. This is very standard practice in the industry in terms of the research and manufacturing. Any molecule which has been identified for the development, which called as, let's say, drug selection, it goes for the pre-formulation studies, okay, followed by the development optimization. When I say drug development and the optimization, I need to say the bench scale development, okay, the lab scale development, and optimizing your formula, the batches. Then you go for the pilot biostudies, you generate the stability data. Once you have the all proven facts, then you go for the technology transfer to the manufacturing locations, the manufacturing plants. You exhibit the same batch in the commercial size, or maybe 1/10 of the commercial size, and this exhibit batch you registered along with your stability data for the 6 months. You perform the clinical biostudies, and you compile entire data from start till end in the form of the dossiers as per the regulatory requirement, and then you ultimately submit the dossier to the market. Okay, and therefore it comes from here onward, the product comes to the market. Okay, so this is the R&D development process from the generic perspective. This is approximately from this till this phase is approx 1 to 2 years. Let's say 2 years in the product perspective, and therefore the product comes to the market, right? Now we have the glance of how the discovery happens in terms of the timeline, this process and everything. We also know the generic R&D development. Now in both the processes, and let's say both the phenomena are very different and unique. How the technological handshake happens, that's something interesting. Now we are living in the world of advanced century, 21st century. Okay, you know, in every minute, almost 60 seconds, right? What happens across the world of technology? In the 60 seconds, the Facebook, which gives 1.4 billion scrolling happens. In the text, almost 22 million text has been sent. In the YouTube, more than 500 hours content been uploaded. I'm just talking about 1 minute. Okay. More than 4 lakhs 15,000 apps get downloaded in every single minute. Stories shared in Instagram, approx 7 lakhs. People tweeting more than 2 lakhs. More than 2 million swipes in the Twitter. Email being sent approx 200 million. Okay, 2 million views in the Twitch, TikTok, 5,000 downloads. You see, like how for example, the WhatsApp also more than like 70 million messages been sent. Snapchat, the millions spent on online transactions, subscriptions, connections in the LinkedIn and also forth. So these are all we are living in the advanced technology. Our life is completely dependent on the technology. Now every click, this is enjoyment for us, but for the corporate that's a business for them. So every click, it creates a lot of the impact on the economy, and this is how the technology is shaping and transitioning the traditional approach of, let's say, development, discovery to the advanced way. How it is going to be, let's see. Alright, so we discussed about the pharmaceutical, now let's come to the healthcare market actually. The healthcare segment, healthcare technology, in fact, the global healthcare IT market is actually 390 billion as of now, which is already being touched, which is growing at 58%. And this is another game changer in the entire world. Pharma is one, the healthcare technology, okay, with the applications, with the websites, with the different programs and everything. This is almost $390 billion market. When it comes to the Indian healthcare market, this is all about 485 billion Indian rupees. And this is growing very rapidly, almost 27.41%. And this is CAGR rate indicating that the Indian pharma industry is having the ample healthcare technology, ample opportunities, and because what happens, it depends upon the kind of patient data that we have, the kind of technological know-how that we have. It depends upon the market demand and supply ratio and the availability of the systems and the technology which boost the market. And now and then, every single Indian is morally dependent on the technological. Your choice is not your choice. The choice of the technology which is making you to choose or take a decision accordingly. Right? So that's the technology shaping the business. Now, let's get into the real world of the artificial intelligence, where we are supposed to discuss in depth. The artificial intelligence, which is we also say as an AI, this is all about 126 billion market by 2021. This is a big market, and we are completely underestimating the AI. Okay, and therefore we need to understand how the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, the data, big data analysis, as well as the blockchain technologies are shaping the human intelligence and creating the greater opportunities in the drug and pharmaceutical market. When we saw this global artificial intelligence software market, this is exclusive for the software, which is around $126 billion. Okay, and this again advancing the machine learning algorithms, which is AI powered, and nowadays we don't have just AI. Okay, the artificial intelligence is not that. It's like the AI itself is a self-learning and creating the better versions of themselves. So that's very vital in the technological evolution. It's what happens in the real world. The AI which has been used in the industry, it depends upon the kind of data that we have and the kind of output that we expect. The AI is being programmed in that way. Okay. So in that perspective, let's understand where is to use the AI across the value chain of the pharmaceuticals, right? First of all, it's there in the drug discovery. In the drug, there are 4 elements that we are going to touch: drug discovery, drug development, novel technologies, as well as the healthcare delivery systems. In the drug discovery phase, the artificial intelligence is being used in the screening of your candidates, which ensures the high throughput value. So, like almost multiple hundreds of the molecules being studied in the screening phase, and hardly we are getting 250 for the preclinical studies. जो भी वो 5,000 candidates को study कर रहे थे, now we need not to spend that much of time on that because why? We have the AI in place, we have the data in place, we have all the algorithm in place. So that reduces your development timeline in a greater extent, right? So you directly hit on the high screening throughput value of the drugs and you interpret in terms of the this pharmacological action, right? Then it's been used in the drug repurposing. The existing drug itself can be used for other applications, other therapeutic values, right? Because, for example, let's say paracetamol. It's analgesic at the same time antibiotic, right? So at one point it was just been identified as an antibiotic, but later it's been discovered as an analgesic also. So we are repurposing the drug. The same drug can be used for multiple applications, multiple interventions. So that will be helpful with the use of AI. Similarly, the indication expansion. The drug being used for a specific purpose can be used for other purpose. So what are the different indications? What are the possibilities? So AI is helping in that way in the discovery phase itself. And similarly, the polymorphology or let's say pharmacology, the multiple perspective. I'm using the word polypharmacology. It's not just understanding or evaluating the drug for specific ADMK, but it's also been identified the different areas. That is how the AI has been used in the drug discovery in the real world. Now, let's get into the drug development phase, and this is very now AI is already part of the industry, which has been implemented and been used in the clinical trial phases in terms of the designing the protocol, designing the entire outcome of the clinical trials, optimization of your trials. The AI is being instrumental because of the available algorithms, available data, available softwares and technology that we have. Artificial intelligence is very powerful technology. Then understand the combination therapies, whether the same molecule can be used for other applications, such as say, the combination therapies, two-drug therapy or multi-drug therapy, can be put with that or not. So, in that way, the AI can be used. Amongst that, the patient stratification, distinguishing of your patient for various purposes of the clinical trials. So that helps in the AI because we did not spend our time and efforts on just screening the data. AI is instrumental for that. We also will use the biomarker identification, for the very specific information of the diseases with the help of the drugs, right? So AI will use in the development perspective. Now, from the discovery to development, AI is already there in the healthcare delivery systems, and which includes the advanced integrated healthcare technology platforms. Okay. लॉकडाउन में कितने लोगों ने यूज किया है एप्लीकेशन दिस ई-फार्मेसी, ई-पैथोलॉजी एंड ऑल दैट एग्जैक्टली वहां पर एआई का बहुत बड़ा रोल था. ओके, इन द रियल वर्ल्ड द एडवांस the technology in the healthcare system is being used, the electronic health records to manage the records of the entire patient, all the historical data is well smartly being managed, which is called as a EHR. Similarly, the patient data optimization and also the personalization of the medications, the AI is being used. The patient medication, all the line of treatment, and the prolonged therapy life. This is being again managed with the AI itself. So you can see how the AI has a role to play in the world of pharma. On the other side, in terms of working on the very novel technologies and other areas, for example, gene editing, cloning, CRISPR technology, the packaging innovation, the patient compliances, and even the sales force effectiveness, the person who are working on the ground level in the market as a representative, pharmaceutical representatives. The AI is being instrumental to identify this, define the different strategies of sales force effectiveness. Right? So this is the importance of AI in the real world, where the evolution is still going on, the application is still being increasing, and the use of or the application of AI still being explored in many ways in the real world. Okay. Now let's get into the further breakdown and understand in the real world of drug development as well as drug discovery. Most of the people get confused over here, but let me tell you, as we spend approximately 13.8% of the drugs are successfully in passing the clinical trials. Okay? And therefore, the AI has been used in this particular phase of the development. The pharma company almost spent $200 million to approx $2 billion in the drug discovery phase that we saw in the previous slides. It's completely paid from the clinical trials, the FDA approval process, even the dosage drafting, reviews, and everything can be even enhanced with the AI itself. And therefore, the pharma industry are increasingly adopting the AI as well as the machine learning, the automation tools in the real world. Right? And therefore significantly reducing the cost of the development and manufacturing. Okay, let's see what is the approach towards the AI. We have the two streams. One is the biological science. When I mean to say biological science is all about the pharmaceutical medical science. Okay, which includes the disease pathophysiology as well as the identification of the different pathways, scientific correlation, insights and experimentation. So this entire biological science, there are many vital data get generated at every phase, every stage. Okay, and therefore the data science is instrumental in the data which is coming from the real world, from the research, from the computational modeling, the deep learning as well as machine learning and AI tools are now integrating together and giving the best outcome with respect to the pharmacological outcome that we are expecting from the product in terms of the timeline, in terms of the effectiveness, in terms of reducing the risk of the development. This is like the integration happens with the help of the AI in the real world, right? So getting it? Is clear to everyone till this point? Yeah. Now, this is something extra slide that I want to share with you. Apart from the AI, there are advanced emerging trends in the real industrial research, and this includes artificial intelligence that, as we said and we discussed in depth. There is a blockchain technology which we're going to touch upon in a length right now. The mobile technology, your every single operations since morning till night without mobile is very difficult, right? And a lot of IoT-based services are the Internet of Things. Industry uses a lot, okay? And the automation of your programs, your manufacturing, sequence of unit operations can be automated. Even automation of your certain protocols, can be done with the technology. These are the things are happening. The big data which implements, designs different algorithms, and analyze the deep data and giving the smart reports, smart results in terms of a very handy report form. This is possible with the help of the technology itself. Now imagine yourself completing your course, studying multiple subjects and studying multiple books. Imagine you are studying for all the people across the world, all the subjects you are studying all together. Is it possible for you? No. But if you do a algorithm, if you design a modules, design a protocol accordingly, data is already there. What the ChatGPT is doing, right? Exactly. So the artificial intelligence is real world, is a reality, not only in the IT sector but also in the pharmaceutical sector. AI being used massively. Blockchain technology is being used, not quite exactly the blockchain. It's a buzzword for everyone. Blockchain is nothing but every single operation from start till end. If the sequence and operation are repetitive in nature, for example, in a lighter note, morning में उठते हैं, breakfast करते हैं, lunch करते हैं, dinner करते हैं, सो जाते हैं, या कोई routine pattern है, right? So every single operations where there is a sequence is being repeated. For example, filling of the forms, where admission start होने वाली है, right? तो हम सारे online system है अभी सब कुछ कुछ इंक्वायरी करनी है तो एक फॉर्म फिल करना पड़ता है और उसके बाद में फिर नेक्स्ट स्टेज के ऊपर वो जा रहा है। तो ये जो प्रोसेस है ये इसको हम कंप्लीटली ऑटोमेट कर सकते हैं। इनफैक्ट ब्लॉकचेन वहां पे यूज होता है। सो कंपाइलेशन ऑफ द डेटा जो रिपीटेड एक्शंस परफॉर्म हो रही है, सो इस एनहांसिंग द आउटकम एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी। एग्जैक्टली तो ये आपके प्रोसेस को रिड्यूस नहीं करता है। सपोज एक स्टेप में एक प्रोसेस में 10 स्टेप्स है और फिर 10 स्टेप कम नहीं करेगा, 10 स्टेप ही होगा, बट जो आप मैनुअल मोड में कर रहे थे ये कंप्लीटली ऑटो मोड में टेक्नोलॉजी के जरिए यूज होता है। दैट इज हाउ द ब्लॉकचेन इज बीइंग यूज्ड, स्पेशली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द डेटा जो क्लिनिकल फेजेस में यूज होता है, डेटा माइनिंग के समय में जो हमको रिपोर्ट्स एक्सट्रैक्ट करनी होती है वो सारी चीजें होगी, डिफरेंट एंड पॉइंट आइडेंटिफाई करने हैं रिलेटेड टू एक्शंस के, वो सब हम ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी से यूज कर रहे हैं। ये एल्गोरिथम ओनली right, so AI is an artificial intelligence, okay, which is being worked on the available data itself, right, which has been programmed, the algorithm which has been designed accordingly. So AI will be used for that specific access, right, and there is a progressive AI which itself get upgraded by, for example, this available pool of data. AI has algorithms to design on those specific data points. This is like AI is giving the outcome. For example, ChatGPT क्या कर रहा है, भी कर रहा है, but जो भी रिस्पॉन्स आपको मिल रहे हैं, जो आपके स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस थे, राइट, जो आपको रिस्पॉन्स मिले हैं, उसको भी स्टडी कर रहा है ये, and then he is giving the further refined responses afterwards. So it's a progressive AI type. So industry of AI for blockchain is the. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all. Any further questions? No? Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge and experiences. Indeed, it was a pleasure to hear you. And then I would really call upon the stage our HOD, Dr. Mustaq Sadiq, sir, for vote of thanks. It was a pleasure be here and presenting the vote of thanks. Our management has been really behind us and asking us for encouraging what you can say multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary thoughts. And AI and blockchain, which is a mixed glimpse of this today, is the need of hour. So I'm very thankful to Mr. Madam who have been suggesting such topics to us, with Rani sir and Jagannath Madam who have been motivating us to organize such talks for the students. When Resha Madam came to me and said, sir, I want to hold one talk by Dr. Ariel sir. I said, when I went through that CV, I said, man of such stature, whether he will respond even would like to talk to us or not. But it was very kind of him that he had agreed to talk because of busy schedule. I mean, last 2 months we had been asking him for his appointment. But unfortunately, it happened that it was little delayed. Right. So, thank you very much sir, for such a important topic and lot of things. I mean, when I discussed my PPTs, about drug discovery, I mentioned that this is a 15-year-old scenario. So, such kind of scenario, I mean, the current update of it, everybody got that the product life cycle will 12 years and $2 million. It is too much at this time, and we are seeing in Corona period that how things were working. So things can go well, and if it is supported by technology, particularly AI and blockchain and other things which sir was talking about, mobile technology, automation, and big data. That is going to help us in future. So while getting this kind of talk over here on that, we have first year and second year from students that we should not now keep our eyes closed towards this topic. Okay, years ago when computers were going to become areas feeling that it's going to take our job, but now we don't work without a computer. Even we don't even get
anymore. We have to make it our friend, not the foe, right? And we should start learning, right? So, rather than discussing the knowledge and something we should learn from online tools available, which will be there, like Swim or anything. And nevertheless, our college also taking that we have such courses planned. So, suddenly lead your end in designing such courses. Because what I was thinking just while I was listening to your talk, that there are many areas where this kind of technology is going to work, and in every place there will be something different to learn. So it will be huge science to learn. But let's see that how many we can upload such courses at our institute. So thank you very much for accepting our request to be over here and giving your precious time. I would like to extend my thanks to the team, organizing team, and rest of our youth is following, and all you are seeing today is all her efforts and the team, student team, and not the staff team behind it. Okay, special thanks to ICT team for being available to help us as the staff members. Okay, in fact, one examination is going on, and few of the students have come. Their examination will continue after the this session is over, and faculty member will adjust their schedule to accommodate this talk and making your presence over this talk. So thank you very much everybody, and I hope everybody has taken something, a bit of it